Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Hope you are having a fantastic week, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video from last week about the pro cards. Something really cool happened. I don't know if you guys read a lot of the comments under the videos, but Mary Erickson, who is the owner of Camera Ready Cosmetics, saw my video from last week, and this is the comment that she left on the video. She says, "I'm headed now to make some positive changes in our application process for pros and students. You are 100% correct. We all need to get with the times. Real paper magazines are a thing of the past." So Mary saw the video that I did last week on the pro card, which is so cool, and I think she's going to be adjusting some of the prerequisites for the pro card for students and makeup artists. That's very exciting. Fingers crossed those changes happen soon, so we'll see what happens with that. If there's any update with that, I will let you guys know, but good to know that Mary saw that. So hopefully these changes happen soon, because I do really love Camera Ready Cosmetics, and as I've mentioned before, the pre-made kits that they have for artists are amazing. They're probably some of the best that I've seen and most comprehensive. So Mary, thank you so much for doing that, and thank you so much for watching my video. Now for this week's video, this is actually a request that I had a long time ago from one of my viewers, and since then a lot of you guys have been direct messaging me and asking me about what to do with difficult clients. Now there are so many things that can happen when you are dealing with people in general in customer service and clients, and there's so many different situations that we could talk about specifically, and we'll see how things go. I may talk more about these things in detail in other videos, but for this video today, I want to share some tips with you guys that work for me when it comes to keeping my clients happy when I'm working with them. Now in this video, I'm talking really mainly about people who are doing makeup for personal clients, so bridal, prom, maybe you're doing makeovers, maybe you're doing makeup for headshots. Television and film clients are a little bit different to deal with, and I will eventually get to a video about that, but because I'm realizing that so many of you are dealing with a lot of personal clients, and I do too, I thought that this video would be helpful for you guys, and there's been so many of you asking me for advice on specific situations that are happening with difficult clients. I wanted to share these tips with you today on how to keep your clients happy, in hopes that you're gonna actually avoid getting to the point where they're frustrated or upset or not happy with the makeup you're putting on them. When you are pursuing a career as a makeup artist, whether you're doing it full-time or freelance, or you're someone that is just doing it occasionally part-time and it's something you want to pursue maybe in a more serious way, the thing that we have to remember is that even though our job is about the artistry and your skill as a makeup artist, we are doing a job that is very customer service focused, and that is something that is so important to remember. We all want to get in there and do a beautiful makeup application, but there's a lot of interaction that happens with your clients, and if you keep in mind that we are doing basically a customer service job, things will be a little bit easier for you when you are dealing with clients that are maybe a little bit more difficult. And because our job is centered around so much interaction with people, eventually you're going to run into a client that is very difficult. They either don't like you, or they don't like their makeup application, or they don't like the way they look, and they're going to be a pain in the ass basically, and they're going to give you a hard time. And I realize that a lot of you haven't experienced this yet, and those of you that are running into these difficult clients sometimes don't know how to deal with it because you feel sort of personally attacked if someone doesn't like your makeup. But the thing to keep in mind is that when people are treating you in a way that is disrespectful, or they're being rude to you, or they just don't like you, a lot of the times it's really a reflection on how they're feeling about themselves. We don't know what kind of day they had. We don't know if they're stressed about something, and oftentimes they'll take it out on people like us, or they'll maybe be mean to the person that's giving them a coffee, or they'll be mean to the person that's serving them in a restaurant. But there are things that you can do to kind of put out the fire before it even starts, and that's some of the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So the first thing I'm going to start with, and I've said this before in some of my other videos, is to really remember to leave your ego at the door. I'm the type of person that really believes that you get what you give. So if you show up to an appointment with a client and you have a bad attitude or you're in a bad mood, there are people that are going to sense that about you, and they're going to give it back to you the exact same, maybe even worse. Remember that your attitude and how you're carrying yourself when you go into a job does affect other people, and you are working very closely with your clients. No matter what is going on in your life, no matter what has happened to you that day, you do have to keep in mind that you need to have that positive attitude and energy when you're dealing with your clients. Guys, I know this can be hard. I deal with a lot of miserable people. You guys will run into these people. There are people that no matter what will just be in a bad mood, but don't let it affect you. Every job that you approach and every job that you book, try to go into it with a positive attitude, and usually for the most part, that's what you will get in return. This concept of sort of leaving your ego at the door is really important too. When you go into an appointment with a client, you need to be flexible with their needs as well. I know a lot of us go into these appointments with our personal clients having having an idea of a look that you want to create on this person in mind, but sometimes that always doesn't pan out, and that's not always what they want. I have worked on so many people where I have done looks for them that I personally maybe didn't like or wouldn't choose for them, or maybe I feel like they could look better if we did their makeup in a different way. Sometimes the job is not about that, and it's really about doing the makeup that they need to feel beautiful and feel happy. And sometimes that should be enough for you as an artist. Not every person that you work on is going to be this Mona Lisa masterpiece. There are some people that just want a very light makeup application or something very natural, and that's enough to make them feel good about how they look and feel good about themselves. And that's really important for you guys to remember too as artists. As long as you do your best and your client is feeling beautiful and happy, that is really all you need sometimes for a job well done. And this is a very important part of our jobs that I feel like is overlooked, because there is so much focus on this transformation, the before and after, achieving the final look, using certain products and certain steps. And sometimes we don't think about what our client needs. Sometimes all our clients need is a little bit of foundation and blush and maybe their brows filled in and a couple false lashes and some lip gloss, and they're feeling like they look like $1 million. And sometimes that's all it takes. So we have to keep that in mind and be flexible with what the needs of our clients are. This next tip that I'm going to talk about is really important, and it's advice I give a lot to makeup artists that are just starting out, or anybody who asks me about how to deal with difficult clients. Part of the job, and a really important part of our job, is to communicate back and forth with our clients. So we want to be able to explain what we're doing. We want to try to understand what they want from us as artists, and the communication part of what we do is so important. And if you can keep the lines of communication open with your client, this is where you're going to save a lot of stress in the long run. Check in with your clients throughout the makeup application. Now, you are going to have clients that really do want that makeover experience where they don't want to see what you're doing and they just want a beautiful transformation at the end. And if you're confident that you can provide exactly what they're looking for and do it like that, where they don't actually see your process and they just see the final product, and you know that they're going to be happy with that and you have a very clear understanding of what they need, totally go for it. I love my clients that are like that. They really want to be wowed and they really just want to see that before and after. Then you're going to have these clients that are really going to want you to check in with them because they're going to be very unsure of how things are progressing with their makeup. Sometimes these are people that don't wear a lot of makeup. Sometimes they've never had their makeup done professionally. So communicating with your client, checking in with them, making sure that they are happy with how things are progressing is really important. The other thing that is important to do is to let your client know that if they want to adjust something throughout the makeup application, that is totally fine. If they want more of something, less of something, you need to let them know that you really want to just provide them the best makeup application possible, and it's not really a personal insult if they want more or less of something on their face. With the people that are a little bit more unsure of the process and are maybe unsure of having their makeup done, if you just speed through the whole thing and then show them the final result, you're going to get to a point where it's almost like the point of no return. If they want to adjust something, it's going to be a lot of work for you. So having that communication through your makeup application is going to save you a lot of stress, and it's going to save you a lot of time because you don't really need to redo anything. And when I have those clients that do want to change something, sometimes it does alter the finish of the makeup and your makeup is maybe not as well executed as you'd like it to be. So for the clients that you can tell are a little bit nervous or unsettled about the whole thing, just kind of walk them through the process, let them know what you're doing, show them a mirror so they can see what's happening, and that will create a lot of trust between you and your client. It's really important to make your clients feel like you do want them to look their best, and that the process of creating the makeup look is really a collaboration between the two of you. This makes your clients feel really good. They do feel like they can trust you. So really quickly build that trust between you and your client. And you can do this by just saying, you know what, if there's anything that you want to change, let me know right away. I will not take it personally. That's the line that I always use. And it just makes them feel a little more at ease to voice their opinions and to kind of work with you together to create the look that they want. You will have those people that are like the control freak that want to see everything that you're doing, which is fine to a point. But if you can relax these people and calm them down and make them feel less stressed about the whole process, that's just going to make things easier on you, and they'll give you more creative freedom to do a look that is really suited to them, and it's going to make them look amazing. Going back to this communication idea and this idea of communicating with your client, it's really important to know also as a makeup artist when to speak up, or when there is something that is a complete red flag for you in terms of what your client is asking for their makeup application. There is a time when you have to say something. something, especially if your client is asking you for something that you know in the long run is going to be a terrible, terrible idea. There are times when you're going to need to say something to them. Of course, you're going to do this in a polite and professional manner. You really need to follow your gut. If you are discussing something with your client and you really know truly that it's not a good decision for them, you want to let them know. And the perfect example I have of this, which happens to me all the time, is with my bridal clients especially. They show me a lot of pictures of Jennifer Lopez and Kim K with this glowing skin. Now, of course, they look beautiful, and of course, glowing skin and healthy looking skin is amazing. But when you think about how your client's day is going to go, if they're getting married, they're going to have a 10 to 12 hour day from the time that you're doing their makeup to the end of their day. What looks great sometimes in a photo, really glossy looking skin, does not last for a 10 to 12 hour day, and that is a huge problem. If I were to apply the makeup exactly as it appears in the pictures that they are showing me, their face is going to be super greasy. It's going to look like my face at the end of an 8 or 9 hour shoot day where I just have oil all over it and I look like the bottom of a frying pan. My clients are not going to be happy with me if I do that. As much as they want that glow, it's not really a look that is sustainable throughout the day. I can give them glowy, healthy skin, but that oil slick finish, which is what it looks like after a few hours, is not something that's going to look great going into the evening, going into their reception. So those are times when I would step in and say, okay, I totally understand the look that you're going for, but if we achieve it this way, maybe it's not going to be as glowy, but you won't look as oily 8 hours later. So there is a way you can step in and say, hold on, let me just suggest something else for you, and explain to them based on your experience why maybe what they're asking for is not the best idea. Really make them feel that you are working with them. It's not saying that they have bad taste in makeup. You definitely don't want to make them feel that way, but you do want to let them know that from a technical standpoint, maybe the J-Lo glow is not something that's going to look amazing 10 hours in. It may look amazing on her because she has makeup artists touching her up throughout her performance or her show or her photo shoot, but for someone that's going to be at a wedding with a makeup artist maybe not present for the whole day, you just want to let them know in that situation that there are other decisions that they could make that is going to make them look better for longer. Try to make them feel that you guys are a team, you can work on this look together, and you want to make them feel like you really do have their best interests at heart. When you're able to do this, this is going to make your clients really happy, and they're going to be less difficult with you for sure. As you guys can see, communication is a huge theme in this video, and if you guys can master communicating with your client, I promise you, you will have way more positive interactions with your clients, and you will have fewer clients that are giving you a hard time or are not happy with your work. Part of that means to try to avoid saying no to your clients. And what I mean by that is there are times when you're going to have to say no, and these are usually in circumstances where it's a business related request. So if they're asking you to stay later but they're not paying you, the answer is no. If they're asking you to squeeze in makeup applications at a discounted rate that is not your rate, the answer is no. If they're asking you to do something that you are uncomfortable with, the answer would be no. But with anything else, if it is maybe a look that they want from you that you do not like, if they are asking you for a certain lip color that maybe you're not feeling good about, answering your client with a hard no, it creates a little bit of tension and stress. And if you put yourself in their position, if you ask for something and somebody just says no right away, or no, I'm not doing that, or no, I don't like that look, it makes you feel kind of bad, and you're not going to be feeling really positive about the person that you're dealing with. So if you do find yourself in a situation with your client where in your head you're just like, hell no, I'm not doing that, don't let those words pass through your mouth. The way to do it is, instead of just saying no right away, you want to offer an alternative. Try to think of a good example so I can illustrate this point to you guys. And I think a great example maybe would be if someone asks you for a specific product. Maybe it's like a MAC foundation. They're like, do you have this MAC foundation in your kit? It's really the only thing that I use. If you don't have it, instead of being like, no, I don't have that, you can say, oh, you know what? I don't have this in my kit, but I do have these 3 other foundations that look amazing under photos. They're water resistant. They make your skin look Photoshop on camera. So this is a way to kind of deflect from the question a little bit, but you're also providing a solution to your client. So maybe you don't have a brand in your kit that they are in love with or that they maybe want to see in your kit, but you do have other brands that are just as good and will perform well on camera and will make them look amazing. So that's a way of dealing with a situation where instead of saying no, you can say, I might not have this, or I might not be able to do this, but here's what else I can offer you. So if you can master this technique, that will create a really good relationship between you and your client, and it makes them feel like you're just not shutting them down right away. Sometimes your clients are gonna come to you with crazy ideas for their makeup. Stuff that is just like not realistic. Maybe it's a look you can't produce. Maybe you just know it's gonna look terrible on them. But instead of just shutting them down, it's really more, again, going back to that point about making it feel like a team effort. And you wanna make them feel like you really do have their best interests at heart. Another really important part that I wanna share with you guys, and I think this point is important because you almost have to be a little self-reflective about how you are appearing to other people. And it's important to be encouraging but not overbearing when you're working with clients. As artists, there are certain looks that we love to create. There's certain products that we get excited about. There's gonna be people that you meet, especially in a setting where maybe you have more than one client, like a bridal booking or something like that. You're gonna have better connections with people. You're gonna be visibly excited about certain things and maybe not as excited about others. It is important that we make our clients feel beautiful and great about themselves. While we're doing this, it's encouraging to some people, but you don't want to make certain clients feel like they aren't meeting a certain standard of beauty if they're asking for something that maybe you're not as excited about. It's something you really have to be careful about because self-image, how we feel about ourselves, self-confidence is a very personal thing, and it's a thing that a lot of people struggle with. And as makeup artists, when you're working with clients one-to-one, this is usually the first thing that comes out. A lot of people are very self-conscious, and it's really a stressful moment for them when they have to get their makeup done because they feel like we're analyzing their face and maybe we think they're not pretty or crazy stuff like that, which is not true. So you have to remember how you present yourself and how you come across to others. The perfect example I have of this is bridal, and I'm gonna go back to bridal again. I think it's a great way to illustrate some of these tips that I'm giving you. For me personally, I think that lashes look great on everybody. I think that if someone is paying to have their makeup done, they should get a lash, whether it's a full strip lash or an individual lash. And I think with bridal makeup especially, because everybody is being photographed, that adding that little bit of lash just makes your makeup look really professional. It really gives you that wow factor. It takes the makeup you're doing on your clients to another level. As excited as I am about putting lashes on people, I never want to feel like I'm forcing it on somebody. So if I go into a bridal booking and I'm working with clients, I would never say, oh my God, you have to have this lash. If you don't have this, I don't even know. Like, you have to try this one and you must wear this and you have to do this because I love it so much. When you say those things, there are people that are going to eat that up. They're going to love it. It's encouraging to them. They realize that they love lashes too, and you have this great connection and this great moment. But there's going to be other people that are going to be observing you, and they're going to feel bad if they don't want to put a lash on. There's tons of people that are not comfortable wearing lashes. There's people that are terrified to get their makeup done because maybe they've never had their makeup done professionally. So coming in there and being really overbearing with this opinion that I have about lashes may make someone else in the bridal party feel like if they're not doing a lash or they're not having me apply a lash on them, that they're not going to look as good as everybody else. So we definitely want to avoid that because we don't want to make anybody feel bad about themselves. So instead of starting my makeup application by saying, oh my God, you have to do the lashes today, and making people feel a little bit uncomfortable and awkward, I may ask them, do you want to wear a false lash today? I will show them the options. I will let them know what the benefits are. I will let them know if they're uncomfortable with a strip lash, I can do an individual. I can just do a couple. We don't have to do a whole strip. So as much as I love to put a lash on somebody, I try to present it to my clients in a way that makes them feel comfortable, and it feels like if they don't choose to do something, that their makeup is going to be less amazing than everyone else's. Because again, how people perceive themselves and their self-image and confidence and how they feel with makeup on, it's very personal, and some people are very uncomfortable with the whole process of having their makeup done, and there's some people that will totally eat it up. So as long as you are not forcing your opinions on everybody else to make them feel like if they're not doing what you say, they're not going to look as good as some of the other people in the bridal party or some of the other people that are also having you do their makeup, you have to keep that in mind. So when your clients are feeling uncomfortable or they're feeling pressured or they feel like their makeup is not going to look as good if they don't do what you're excited about, that's going to create a little bit of tension. It's going to make them feel stressed. And as you guys know, I'm like this too. When you feel stressed, you tend to be more difficult when you're dealing with other people. And we want to eliminate that completely when we're working with our clients. We don't want anybody giving us problems when we're trying to do their makeup. We want people to be feeling good about the process. We want to have a really good time with our clients. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I just want my appointments to run smoothly. I want to have a good time. I want to talk to people. I want to do a beautiful makeup application. I want to make sure my clients are feeling good about themselves. So all of this stuff is part of being a makeup artist. If you can get get your client to trust you and enjoy the experience, this is going to eliminate a lot of that really difficult behavior. It's going to eliminate that bridezilla behavior. It's going to make people feel like they can trust you and that they can communicate with you, and that's going to put them at ease and make things go really smoothly for you. There are so many more tips I could share with you guys. There are so many situations that we all run into with difficult clients, with picky clients, with people holding the mirror this close to their face, saying one eyelash is out of place. There's so many scenarios that we could talk about, and I think over time I definitely will, and I'll definitely be blogging about these things as well, because it is important for us to discuss. They're very general tips, but I think if you just keep these in the back of your mind when you're dealing with your clients, things are going to be a lot easier for you, and I don't think you'll get as many difficult clients. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, a lot of the times we get what we give. So try to approach your bookings and try to approach your clients with a positive attitude. Again, communication is so important. It's one of those things, it does take time to master the skill of communicating with people and reading people. There's some people that are very self-conscious. They're very nervous about the whole process. You want to make sure your appointment runs smoothly. You want everybody to be happy with the end result. Check your ego at the door. Try to communicate as much as you can with your client. Engage with them, interact with them. Let them know that if they don't like something, it's okay. It's not personal. And hopefully all your clients will be happy and will call you back and book you again and keep paying you forever and ever and ever. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any more questions about this, please let me know. Put them in the comments box below. You guys know all of my social media info is in the description box. And again, keep your requests, comments, and questions coming. They're so helpful for me when I'm thinking about what content to produce for you guys that I think would be helpful as you grow as artists. And if you guys have noticed in the last little week or so, I'm trying to blog a little bit more. I think I'm going to do more product reviews on my blog and answer some of your specific questions as well. So you can check that out. It's theangied.com. And don't forget to tag me in some of your work. I'd love to see what you guys are working on. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of the week, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.